What's up, JPEGs? This is my review for The Last of Us Episode 1. Based on this opening episode alone, there's actually a decent amount of differences between the story in the game and the story in the show. The biggest change that you will notice will actually be the opening. The game starts with Sarah sleeping on the couch and Joel coming home late, but that moment doesn't actually happen in the show until 15 minutes in. Instead, the show starts with a television talk show set in 1968 with a couple of doctors discussing a potential mass global pandemic. Then it jumps to 2003, where we see Joel and Sarah having breakfast together. We get to meet some of the neighbors. We see Sarah go to school. We see Sarah get Joel's watch fixed. We see Sarah visit the neighbors. For me, this was actually a massive improvement over the game, where we had little to no time at all to get to know Sarah, to understand who she was. Whereas in this, we get to see all these, day-to-day things that she does. We get to see her interact with multiple people, and we really kind of get a sense of her personality, which we just didn't in the game. And taking the time to introduce us to the neighbors, however brief it is, whether it's the interaction near the beginning of the episode or later on when Sarah goes over to do her homework there, I think it all makes the world feel a little bit more real, a little bit more grounded, and I think that that's really good for a story like this. Also, the scene of the old woman neighbor in the background was genuinely creepy. I remember when I first played the game, I literally burst out laughing when Sarah died because I thought it was so poorly written and poorly executed, and I just thought it was hilarious instead of tragic, which I know it was supposed to be. And I think part of it was because we just didn't know this character at all, and in that regard, I thought that the show was doing a much better job at building that moment up so that when it did happen, we would care about it. Rather than Sarah just being used as a plot device in the game and nothing else, the show actually makes her feel like a real person. But the moment that she dies in the show is completely ruined, although for different reasons than in the game. In the show, Joel and Sarah get shot at like they did in the game, and Tommy saves Joel like he did in the game. But in the game, right after Joel is saved, he immediately goes over to Sarah, whereas in the show, he's taking his time. He's lifting up his shirt, checking his own wounds, and it completely ruins the moment because it just doesn't feel like that's what that character would do. Overall, I'm actually enjoying the show a lot more than I enjoyed the game for two main reasons. Number one, which I've already kind of briefly touched on, but I think that the additions and changes to the story have benefited the story as a whole by making it feel deeper and more emotional. And number two, I don't have to play a Naughty Dog game in order to enjoy the story. Forget about clunky third-person shooting in bland environments with waist-high walls and some of the dumbest AI you'll ever see in a game. Now, we just get to watch live-action actors in bland environments. Also, I love the idea that The Last of Us and Clerks could exist in the same universe.
Not even supposed to be here!
But yeah, I'm enjoying this for what it is so far. It's not mind-blowing, but it's pretty decent. That being said, I'll give this episode a 6 out of 10. Hey Billy, or Tommy, let's get the heck out of Dodge. I'm gonna go get Sarah, and then we'll get the heck out of here. It really is just The Last of Us.